Good evening, you're watching the special episode of the Buck Stops Here, coming to you live from Ground Zero in the Kiran sector of Jammu and Kashmir. A sector that has attracted national and international attention after one of the longest anti-infiltration operations here is now ending its terminal mopping up stages. But it has cast a huge question mark over what happens to the India-Pakistan equation next, and over what's exactly happening here in the Kiran sector. Over the next 60 minutes, we'll be bringing you special, exclusive, on-the-ground reports right here from Ground Zero. But first, we're bringing you the first and exclusive look at the images of the 7 terrorists who have been killed in the Kiran sector in the last 4 days. Let's bring those images up for you. They're extremely dramatic and they are exclusive on NDTV. You can see in those pictures that some of the killings have taken place of these terrorists right at the LOC fence, which means that these men were caught, were nabbed just as they were trying to cross the fence and come inside Indian territory. In fact, in that one image which shows the terrorists killed right at the fence, you can see another terrorist who's on the other side of the fence, ahead of the fence, right at the line of control. Another very, very dramatic exclusive image that we're bringing to you today, breaking on the Buck Stops Here, coming to you from Ground Zero in Kiran, is the shot of a terrorist who seems to have been shot while he's falling down a ravine. Either that or he was killed and then his body tumbled down. We are bringing you this first look at the images of the terrorists killed in the Kiran sector. We would like to clarify to our viewers that these are not the terrorists who there is a massive manhunt on for at Shala Battu. That is how Kiran's entire episode of infiltration started. These are not those images. But since then, there have been multiple infiltrations and 2 recent infiltration bids in the same sector. In fact, 25 kilometers west of Shala Battu have been foiled by the Indian Army, and we are bringing you those images. The 7 terrorists killed that Indian Army sources are saying could well belong to the same group of 30 to 40 terrorists who entered the Kiran sector about 14 days ago. A massive manhunt on to track down telltale signs of their whereabouts or whether they've left a cache of weapons behind. Let's get started with another look at those exclusive images that we're breaking here on the Buck Stops Here tonight. We're taking a first exclusive look at the images of the 7 terrorists that have been killed in the Kiran sector from where we're broadcasting tonight. These terrorists have been killed in the last 4 days. These are not the images of the terrorists who are believed to have entered India at the deserted village of Shala Battu. The army is denying media reports and speculation that any village or any Indian posts have been occupied at all. But these images, in a sense, bring home the terrain of this area, the mountainous, rugged, thick forests, the sharp rocks, and how difficult it has been for soldiers to launch a massive manhunt here. More than 500 soldiers have been combing every inch of a 3-kilometer radius looking for telltale signs of that original infiltration believed to be of 30 to 35, some even say 40 terrorists who entered India. Army sources are continuing to say that all the signs point to a backing by the Pakistan Army. And today we bring you also in our ground report the first eyewitness account from injured Indian soldiers, 6 of whom are in the ICU battling multiple gunshots, on what they saw and how many terrorists they saw in the original infiltration bid. Driving north of Srinagar on the tree-lined highway that has been the setting for countless Hindi film classics, it's hard to believe that this road will lead you straight to the battle zone of Kiran, where one of the longest anti-infiltration operations is entering its end stage. The sheer beauty can lull you into complacency. First you go through the apple country of Sopore, where a splash of happy red breaks the green every few miles. Then you go past the harvest-ready paddy fields of Kupwara in North Kashmir, the tranquility belying the force of the gunfight just ahead. But soon the presence of the military can be more than felt, and the tension in the air is palpable. The terrain too has shifted almost on cue. From a flat surface, it's moved to a rugged, sharp, steep incline. For long stretches, there is only a kacha road that bumpily winds its way up the mountain curves. Here in the Keren sector, more than 500 soldiers, including the Indian Army's para-commandos, are combing every inch of a 3-kilometer area again and again and again to look for telltale signs of the massive infiltration. This is the last point to which civilians have any access. Beyond this is the operational area of the army. But even standing here, you can get a very good sense of how difficult this terrain is. Behind me, the thick forest, the sharp rocks, the rugged terrain, the mountains, all of this adds up to why the operation here is such a massive challenge. The army has stopped short of categorically naming Pakistani troops, at least on record. But these images released by the army, both of the first sighting of intruders and then the subsequent images of ammunition and weapons recovered in infiltration bids in the same sector, all underline the army's assessment that Pakistan's military has backed the massive infiltration. Whether it's this stack of giant rotis and supplies, the army fatigues, or the sophistication of the weapons recovered, officials say the signs all point to a larger support from across the border. Army officials show us this identity card recovered from one of the killed terrorists that they say points to his Pakistani address. They also show us a letter of recommendation he is carrying that they say is signed by a Pakistani soldier. Back in Srinagar's base hospital in the ICU ward, 6 soldiers are still battling gunshot wounds. The monitor right outside the ward describes some of their conditions as critical. Inside, we hear the first eyewitness testimonies of the turmoil in Keren. Strapped to hospital beds, the bullets pumped out from their body, still in little bottles kept by their side, and yet these soldiers are perfectly serene.
हम रात को अम्बुश में बैठे हुए थे। दो पार्टियां, एक दाहिने एक बाएं बैठी हुई थी।
आप एम्बुश में थे? अच्छा, फिर?
तो दाहिने वाली पार्टी ने बोला हमारा कनेक्ट हो गया, आप सतर्क हो जाओ और आड़ लेके बैठ जाओ।
अच्छा।
तो हम आड़ लेके बैठे, दूसरी पार्टी फायर करती रही, तब तक मिलिट्री ने फायर खोल दिया और पार से भी फायर आ गया।
अच्छा।
तो हमारे को गोली लगी। अच्छा। बस इतना।
जोर से गोलाबारी आई?
हम बारी गोलाबारी हुई।
भारी?
2 घंटे फायरिंग चला।
पर आप लोग मार पाए फिर उनको?
अभी कॉर्डन मेरे को गोली लगी और अभी सर्चिंग नहीं हुई थी, फायरिंग हो रहा था।
अच्छा, एक मैं आपसे पूछना चाहूंगी कि बहुत से लोग जानना चाहेंगे कि भाई आप लोग हिम्मत इतनी कैसे रखते हैं?
हिम्मत तो लड़ना पड़ता मेरे साहब।
गोली लगी है आपको, आप वापस लड़ाई में जाएंगे?
जी मेरे साहब।
घुटने में भी गोली है, पैर में भी गोली है?
जाएंगे साहब, मेरे साथ जाएंगे।
वापस जाएंगे?
जी।
Here in the ICU of the base hospital in Srinagar are 6 soldiers who are still battling gunshot wounds, some of them more than one. This is the first eyewitness testimony coming from those who actually saw first the massive infiltration bid that has taken place in the Keren sector and then the subsequent 2 infiltration bids that have since been foiled. These are the real life stories of valor and courage as the line of control continues to be volatile and tense. ये बताइए कि आपकी अभी तबीयत कैसी है, क्योंकि हम सब जानते हैं कि आपको गनशॉट वुंड है। अभी आप बेटर फील कर रहे हैं?
अभी मैं बहुत ठीक हूँ मैडम।
बहुत ठीक है?
हाँ,
बहुत ज्यादा ठीक है?
हाँ, यहाँ आने के बाद मुझे बहुत ठीक लग रहा है मैडम।
इतना कुछ हो गया लेकिन आप फिर भी इतनी आराम से बात कर रहे हैं और आप कह रहे हैं कि आप बिल्कुल ठीक है, तो बहुत से लोग कहेंगे भाई इतनी हिम्मत कहाँ से आई?
इंडिया आर्मी होने के नाते मैडम, एक
इंडिया आर्मी होने के नाते घबराए नहीं आप?
नहीं मैडम।
अच्छा, आपने देखा कि ये जो सारा सिलसिला शुरू हुआ, ये जो इन्फिल्ट्रेशन हुई केरन सेक्टर में, आपने क्या देखा, आप बताइए हमें।
वहाँ पे मैडम बहुत सारे मिलिटेंट्स थे मैडम,
बहुत सारे मिलिटेंट थे,
मतलब 30-35 की नफरी में थे उन लोग।
आपने खुद देखा?
खुद देखा मैडम।
आपने खुद देखा कि 30-35 के बीच में थे?
उससे ज्यादा ही था मैडम, कम नहीं था।
अच्छा, और आपने देखा? आप अपनी पेट्रोलिंग ड्यूटी कर रहे थे?
नहीं, एम्बुश कर रहे थे मैडम।
आप एम्बुश में थे? अच्छा, फिर क्या हुआ?
तो
फायरिंग आई?
हमने फायरिंग किया हुआ, आपस में मुठभेड़ हुआ मैडम, तभी मैडम मुझे यहाँ पे गोली लग गया।
आपको गोली यहाँ पे लगी?
हाँ जी।
और किस तरह की फायरिंग की? भारी फायरिंग, भारी गोलाबारी?
भारी गोलाबारी।
आप तैयार हैं वापस जाने के लिए?
हाँ बिल्कुल तैयार हूँ मैडम, मैं दोबारा जाने के लिए।
घबरा नहीं गए? इतना गन शॉट वुंड आपको लग गया, आप आईसीयू में 12 दिन से हैं?
नहीं मैडम, मैं दोबारा जाऊंगा फिर वही लोकेशन में।
What's heartbreaking is our discovery that while both riflemen Dullu Raj and Nayak Raj Singh are more than ready to be back in the battlefield, their injuries are so serious that it may never be possible to give them the same roles. Dullu Raj was the very first Keran casualty. He took a bullet in his abdomen and most of his gut had to be removed. Raj Singh, the doctors say, has the most disabling injury of all soldiers. He has completely lost use of his knee, throwing a long shadow of uncertainty over what he can do next. Another soldier, doctors say, spent 3 days on a ventilator. It's a miracle, they say, that he is alive. Yet these soldiers are stoic. Grief is a luxury they cannot afford. Up in the mountain as day turns to night, hundreds of their comrades are still combing the deep jungles for any telltale signs of the infiltrating terrorists. This remote area of Keran is now a national issue and an international debate. The key question remains, was there any point to this handshake in New York, given the massive violation that was unfolding simultaneously on the ground in Jammu and Kashmir? In the Keran sector with Manoj Thakur, Shurbani Bhattacharya and Zafar Iqbal, Barkha Dutt for NDTV.